The Premier League is starting, and I want to go through all of the teams' home kits and decide which one is best and which one is not so much. But I've got one word for you. Boring. Boring. I'm looking at these straight away, and I'm not going to put any in the S class. 100%, none are going in the special class because these are boring. It just seems that football teams, especially with their home kits, we're going to do another one with the away kits, but the home kits, they just don't do anything out of the ordinary. They don't do anything exciting, especially those big clubs. You know, the clubs like Tottenham, not that they're a top club, the teams like Man United, Man City, it's so dull. Anyway, let's get to it. So up first, we have got Brentford. It's so boring. Like, you know, red and white stripes. Okay, we've seen it. They've done it. You know, it's if you're going to bring out a new kit every year, and this is the problem with football, is that they bring out new tops every year, and it's like home, away, third kit, goalkeepers. You've got to spice it up a little bit, and Brentford haven't. The most I can give it is a C, because it is the same as every year. It is boring. I know you're a club with red and white stripes, but do something different. And you'll see in a minute that at least some clubs have done the stripes slightly differently. But I can't go more than a C. I don't think it's damn right ugly, but I can't go with more than a C. Fulham. Now, I really dislike this. A few years back, Adidas had the same kits for so many teams, just with different colours, and it feels like that with the Fulham. I don't like the stripes on the shoulders, which are the Adidas sort of brand. I really don't like it. I'm going to give it a D because it's boring. 2, I don't like the Adidas stripes, and it's just dull. Even the sponsorship doesn't add any excitement to it. So Fulham, just like their chances of staying up, down in the gutter. Now, Man City, it's slightly better than last year, right? But once again, they haven't gone very exciting. They haven't tried to be a little bit edgy. It is plain blue with the red and white accents on the sleeves and the collar. So can I give it more than a C? Can I give it more than a C? What would that really persuade you to buy that kit? I don't think so. I think it's dull. I understand that teams have a solid coloured kit with no real detail, but maybe you've got to change up a little bit of texture. Like Chelsea the other year. It was blue, but they had a slightly different coloured pattern underneath. That was still blue, but yeah. Next, Brighton and Hove Albion. Now, I actually don't mind this. I don't think it's worthy of an A, but I like that they've used the yellowy gold accent. I like that it's not just plain white and blue stripes like Brentford have done. They've mixed up a little bit. So actually, you know, I would give that a B. It's nothing special, but it's a damn right better than the others because they've changed the aspect of stripes. They've mixed up a little bit and just made it a little bit more interesting and different. Now, Leeds, you'll get this. Look, if I put this alongside Fulham, look at this. Is there any difference there? Nope, because Adidas, they do the same style kit for that year and they just roll it out to all the teams, and it is so boring. Look, there's no difference in that kit other than the sponsorship and the coloured accent of the sleeve and the neck. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. Adidas do the worst kits. All right, the worst kits in the league by far. Awful. Anyway, it's got to be a D because it's the same as Fulham. Boring. Now, up to my club. I'm going to put them at B to start off with. Now, I think this is going back to an older style kit that we used to have, possibly in the 90s or even the 80s. it's now Southampton is a club that is known for red and white stripes, but at least they've done something different. Technically, it's stripes, sort of. We've had years where we've had a sash as well, and I just think that's mixing it up a little bit. I wouldn't necessarily go out of my way to buy it unless I got it, a fake one off AliExpress. But it's a damn sight better than, for example, Fulham and Leeds, who there's just nothing there. So I like that they've mixed up by having just the one bold red stripe down the middle with the black accent for it. Don't mind it at all. Now, look at that. What is the chances of that? Another Adidas kit. So I think is Leicester. Leicester, another Adidas kit. And the same style again. The only difference is the collar looks like it's actually got a collar, whereas the other two don't. But that doesn't stand out from any other Leicester kit from any other previous season, does it? So it can't go any higher. It's awful. It's boring. And guess where this one's going? Oh, I don't know if I'm thinking now, I don't know if I should put Man City down there as well, because theirs is the same. I'm going to do that. Yeah, I'm being bold and brave. I'm chucking it down there. Now, Chelsea, it doesn't look like it's got any detail in the kit like it did last year. And it's still very similar to the Adidas kit, but it's not Adidas, so that's a good start. It's got a button-up collar, which I quite like. Oh, I really want to give it a D, but I think I'm going to give it a C. I'm going to give it a C because I prefer Nike. Nike tops are a hell of a lot better, but it is still pretty dull. And a C is pushing it, right? A C is really pushing it. Next up, we go to Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest are back in the big time. So now, Forest, I think sometimes they have stripes, but they are a red kit team. That's what they are. Now, I'm going to give this. Now, I know it's plain red, right? However, they've got the sleeves. Literally, the whole of the sleeve has got some sort of detail and texture in it. It's got the sort of the lighter colour red collar as well. So I think it's fair because at least they've made some effort in the sleeve, right? They've made some effort. Their kits are plain red, but I like that they've made a little bit of effort with the sleeves, and that, goes far. That goes far in my book. So I'm going to give Forest B. Still pushing it a little bit. It possibly could be C, but I'm giving it there. The worst colours in football is claret and blue. West Ham. I don't get it. I don't get it. Now, it's Umbro. I like Umbro kits, actually. I really like Umbro kits. Umbro did some nice Southampton kits previously as well, but we've moved away from Umbro with Diodora now, I think. But it's only a step up. It is only a step up from D, because look, it's more or less the same, but those weird shoulders, and I don't quite understand it. I really don't understand it. But I suppose it gives it the slight edge. Liverpool. Have they got detail on the sleeve? I just realised the Forest is made by Macron. You don't see many of them in the top tier. But it's just boring. I don't know if they do have detail in the sleeve, but it's certainly not as noticeable as the Forest one. But it is just boring. No, I'm going to be harsh. I am going to be harsh. That's going as a D. It's so dull. I just want something interesting. Put some effort into it. Why are the home kits on most of these so rubbish and just lacks inspiration? That's what is the problem. So, Liverpool, screw you. You stole all of Southampton's players over the years. You're going into D. That's my prerogative. Where am I going? I don't want Spurs yet, do I? I want Everton. Everton. Now, Everton is pretty plain. I think it's got a little bit of detail in. It looks like it's got a little bit of detail in. But it is very much in the same style as the West Ham and the Chelsea. It's got white under the sleeve, I think. Now, I think it goes above. I think it was C is at max. And it's not a lot to it, but it does look like there's a little bit of detailing in it. Maybe they've taken the idea of the white accents, which also goes with the advertising. Same as Chelsea, the advertising is white, which matches with the accents around the collar and things like that. So I'll give Everton a C. They might get relegated this year. Okay, I am going to go now. There's two teams here that have made an effort with their home kits and changed up a bit. Bournemouth are a lovely team, no problems there. They're meant to be our rivals, sort of, even though Portsmouth are our rivals. But Bournemouth have red and black stripes, yeah? Now look at the difference between Brentford and Bournemouth. Look what they've done. They've gone out of the ordinary a little bit more, haven't they? They've got the lightning stripes, and I really like that. I really like that because it's different. And once again, I say Umbro do nice kits. So Bournemouth are going to be my first A-rated top. They are my first A-rated top, and I like it. They haven't just stuck with the straight stripes, have they? They've gone away from that, and they've given you a reason to buy the kit. Each year, if the kits are the same, like the Liverpool kits, each year the kits are the same. You wouldn't be able to really distinguish between last year's kit and the kit before that, because it's all the same. At least with this, it stands out as being something different. So that's my first A. Newcastle. Now, Newcastle black and white stripes. They haven't really done anything different. But I quite like the way that they've done the stripes, because the stripes sort of follow around in the shoulder compared to the Brentford, which is literally straight up and down, and it almost just patterns. The Newcastle sort of wraps around the sleeve, so that puts it into C for me. It's not good enough to be B, but yeah, it's staying in C. What more can I say? Now guess where Spurs are going? Spurs are going right into D because their kit is boring. I know it's not got the Adidas stripes, which I don't like, but is it really any different from the Fulham and the Leeds? It's not, is it? It's no different from them kits. So it's only got one place, and that is a D. This is not good so far, is it? It's really not good. Let's move over to Man United. Now, I think Man United have gone for a little bit more retro. It's hard to see in this picture, but they've got a white collar with a sort of a black sort of stripes on the actual collar. I think that's a little bit different. It looks quite retro. It's a bit odd for footballers to be wearing it. I don't think it looks right with football. It's nice to see that they've got TeamViewer now, which is their sponsor, which is basically being able to control someone else's computer through yours. Just so you know, because I use it. So it's nice that they've kept the collar, the sponsorship on the chest, and the sponsorships on the sleeves the same colour as well. So they've matched that in well. I will give it a B, but it could be a C. It's very subjective, and I just think it is a little bit different, I suppose. They've only got a certain amount of options they can do with a full red kit, and other than completely rebranding, doing patterns on and things. So I'll give it a B, but that's a very nice of me B. Arsenal. I think Arsenal is probably similar to Man United, actually. It's they've obviously got the Emirates and the white sleeves and the white collar, which is all sort of in keeping with each other, and then the red down the middle. It's not exciting, it's or anything like that, so it's pushing a B. It could be a C, but I think it's just got the edge. It's got the edge over Chelsea, for example, just because it's a little bit more interesting with the different coloured sleeve and the nice folded white collar. Now, next, some may not like it. Crystal Palace. Once again, they are a red and blue striped team. But like Bournemouth, they haven't just gone with plain stripes. They've gone with like a hazed effect. And actually it's interesting. It's a little bit more exciting. It's a little bit more out there. And it makes it worth buying. These are the kits, same as the Bournemouth. Those are the kits that, especially if they do well for a season, you remember those kits, right? there's classic kits that people remember, and I think by having one that stands out like that, you stand more of a chance of remembering it, right? Because that's surely what you want from a kit. Oh, I remember that kit, you know? So hopefully that is a good thing. Now, I don't even know. Wolves here, I don't even know who makes the Wolves kit. I can't work out. And I don't think I can give it more than a D. There's not really a lot to it. I see they're keeping with the black and yellow. Great. But that's it. There's nothing there. There's a couple of black accents and things, but it's horrible. It's boring. I like yellow kits because they're quite interesting. And you don't see many yellow kits. But that's boring. And the last one, I already said what I think of claret and blue. Aston Villa. This is not looking good for Premier League kits, if I'm honest. Aston Villa, claret and blue. It is dull. It's the same. It's the same manufacturers as the Wolves kit. I'm seeing if any others have got that style. I don't think any others have got that make. So interesting. It's interesting to see a few others makes coming in, like Macron for Crystal Palace, and who else had Macron? Someone else had Macron. Nottingham Forest had Macron. I don't know what brand that is for West Ham and Wolves. I don't know. It's also... Oh, Newcastle have got it as well. I don't really know what brand it is. Anyway, claret and blue is a horrible colour. There's no detail. At least with the West Ham, they have that weird bit on the shoulders just to add a little bit of interest. But the Aston Villa's a boring team anyway. And I think the kit matches that personality of the team. Well, that's mine. There are no special ones. Hopefully, when we look at the away kits, there will be. And I know the Southampton away kit, and I really like it. So what do you think? Would you put these anywhere different? Maybe you wouldn't put Bournemouth and Crystal Palace where I've put them. Maybe they would be lower because you think they're a bit grotesque. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe. We've got a Premier League Fantasy League going and a Premier League Score Prediction League going as well. So that's in the Discord server. So join that, get the links and join us. See if you can beat me. You probably won't. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.